Welcome back to another episode of Sword Buddies. I'm your host, Troy Beckman.
I'm your special guest, Justin Gibbons.
And our sponsor today is Armed to the Sea Stage Combat Company.
Houston's Heroes for Hire. Do you need violence done safely? Call Armed to the Teeth Stage Combat Company.
Link in the description below.
Armed to
the Teeth.
Stage Combat Company.
Did I ever tell you how we came up with that name?
I'm assuming he just put a knife in his mouth and said "grr" at you one day.
It was...
Because that seems like what he would do.
It does sound... Yeah. We're talking about H, who is one of our
mentor.
One of our many instructors.
Really the man who said, I will put faith in you and invest in you. And he said, do you need someone to do violence? Look at these boys. And we went, hi!
Hello.
Except we were adept at it.
But,
H. God bless him.
Yeah, check us out. Link in the description below. How was class tonight, Justin?
Tonight, I felt really good about class, which is relieving because I missed a Monday and a Wednesday in a row. I missed the Wednesday because of work, and I missed Monday because of a hurricane, a tropical storm, really. But it was good to get back and feel really on top of it. Like, I felt better than I did a week ago.
And you only go to class Monday, Wednesdays?
I only go to class Monday, Wednesday.
That's when you'll have class.
Yeah.
Do you have class Saturdays?
No, I wish we did. I wish we had class later in the week because that weekend I always want something to go out and do. You know?
Yeah.
I think I may have found it on the topic of class.
Oh.
So we share a space. We're at Alliance Fencing Academy.
Okay.
It's a school that's meant for sport fencing for kids, like grade, I don't know, like 3rd through, I think, a couple years in college. They do some Olympic training and some junior Olympic training there. But we share a space with some HEMA longsword guys.
Cool.
And the teacher there told me today that they meet on Fridays and Saturdays at that same space. And I'm already making that drive twice a week, and it's not that bad. And the only thing is Friday, 8:30 to 10:30. Saturday, 5 to 7, not so bad. Saturday, 5 to 7, I can do regularly until like performance season picks back up.
I can't do either.
Yeah, I know.
Ah. Dang it.
But you can do Rapier.
I could go Mondays.
Yeah, you could.
But here's the thing. And like the dues we have for EI are $85 a month, which is already a steal. Already above like some of these real pricey places around here for just even like
just the name,
but like hours by week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they classify it by like you. Like, not that we meet 3 times a week, that, you train at least 2 or however many hours a week, and I'm like, that's not even something we think about.
Yeah.
It's how many times can we meet? And it's gotten to the point where I'm training more than I ever have been before, because now we're meeting on Saturdays, too, to practice paired forms. We can't physically meet for the paired forms.
You can stand across and slowly move through what you would do.
Mm-hmm. And essentially, that is kind of a staged combat. Mm-hmm. So I'm already good at kind of pretending and keeping that focus of acting as if that pressure was there.
Yeah.
So it's really beneficial for me. And also, it's nice to just visit with Sensei, too.
That's always good. That was one thing that the guy was telling me, is that hardly anyone shows up on those days. Most of the guys just want to have something during the week to go do, so they go do longsword. And so Friday is like another longsword day, and then Saturday is sword and buckler, 5 to 6. Rondel, which is medieval German dagger, from 6 to 7. Yeah. So I would be learning arming swords, like a curved blade, like a saber. I would be learning single-hand broadsword. I would be learning just straight sword with a knuckle bow.
Who are these guys?
They are a company called Sword to Sword. They're a HEMA group. So they study MS 133 is the one they study for sword and buckler, and then I cannot remember the name, but one of the big German fencer names is who they study for longsword.
Well, I want to look this guy's up. Just because you always got to check out and see where your teams are coming from.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and no disrespect to them. It's just, you got to do your due diligence.
Yes, and I understand that. But, like, I have been seeing them, like, the instructor for the longsword class will hold the text in his hands while instructing. Even my instructor doesn't do that. He has shared a PDF of the entire text that we study with all of us. And he's like, hey, here's what we're studying tonight. And so we're expected to go and read before we go into class. So it's fresh in our mind, and then we do it physically. But they will actually, like, here's the text, and here's what it says, here's what the photos are showing, here's how I understand it. Because all of what we do in HEMA is explorative archaeology, is how Dan Granke phrased it to me. It's like you're reading a dead practice, and from interpreting it, you're able to bring it back to life.
Mm-hmm. No, I absolutely.
What's this pensive look, Troy?
No, I absolutely get what you mean. No, I absolutely get what you mean. It's. Nothing. It's just interesting to try to take that challenge, because this is, I guess, this is me being skeptical. Is how true can you bring that back?
Only so true, admittedly.
Yeah.
Because Tim will find reenactors and historical fencers online of various styles, and he'll post their videos on our fencing page. So we get to study other fencers from around the world that are doing similar styles.
Of course.
And one of the videos that he posted, I was watching them fence, and as I was watching them fence, I was like, oh, I could have taken him there, I could have taken them there, I could have taken him there, I could have taken him there. And both guys I was able to look at and pick apart their defense and offense and see how I could beat them. And Tim has fenced both of them and beaten them. But those two dudes are still considered the best in the world. So I don't really understand how they're classifying it, because most of it is a bunch of guys in folk who just looked at the book and went, I can do that, and then started moving through it slowly, and then started trying to do it and apply it. And that's why I'm confident in the text that I have, is because every night I read it, I understand what it's talking about, and when I try to do it, I am able to hit people and not get hit when I do it correctly.
Okay.
And
that's effective.
That's how I know it works.
It's effective.
Yes, it's bringing history to life, and that's why I love this.
That was well put.
What did you do in class tonight?
Tonight. Tonight was the progression of the night. I got to class. Justin, one of my least favorite things to do on a Wednesday night is the sitting form of Tatahisa, because it's not uncomfortable, but if you aren't prepared for it and you don't sit like that normally, you don't like it.
You've tried showing me how to sit like that, and I don't think I can do it.
It's like a half 90-degree butterfly. It's literally like this. And we can't even do it right because we're sitting on a couch. Right up. You'll do the left. Sorry. Right, left, there. Right here, top of the knee. Palm of the fist, right here. And keep the shoulders, and sit up.
But I would be on that foot.
You would be essentially sitting on the cradle of the cradle that your foot makes with your leg.
Okay.
Yeah, right in there.
Okay.
Yes, and it's gonna be a lot of pressure on here.
On what would be the top of your foot.
You get used to it, but essentially the idea is, and I can't really show this, is that getting up from this to standing is a lot quicker than the other traditional way of sitting in Japan, which was just sitting on top of your knees like this.
Because that you have to bring a knee up in order to do it. The other one, the knee is already up. If your foot's in the right position, with both legs, you just push down and then you're standing.
Exactly. The thing is, about getting out of that's very, very particular, is, and I can't do this because we're on a couch, is that you have to roll, you have to engage your knee and pull the left one in to the center before you come up, so you aren't putting all of your weight on your left knee as you're rising. Because if you keep doing that while practicing, you're going to wear your left kney out.
It's going to start to crack every time you do it. Yep.
Yeah. So it takes a lot of conditioning, a lot of slow conditioning to get into it. So I don't want to say it's acrobatic because it's not like jumping up and down. But it takes a lot of core control to keep yourself focused and upright while moving around very low. Mm-hmm. So it's not my favorite thing to do on a Wednesday at like 9 to 10.
So what day would you do it on?
I'd probably want to do it on Friday. Fridays are my favorite days. But we start with Jukeiko, which is just free practice.
Okay.
We don't get 5 minutes in, and Sensei's just looking at Mike and I, like, let's do Tatehisa. And we're like, great. So we immediately go to Tatehisa. And it was good to practice it. It was nice. Regardless, it was exactly what I needed to do. It's funny how that works out.
It's probably what she was thinking.
It's how it works out every single time I go to practice. It's like whatever you're thinking you don't want to do, that's what you're gonna do, and that's what you need to do.
You know what?
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, you don't want to teach? You're gonna teach tonight. Oh, you don't want to do, your least favorite forms? That's exactly what
we're doing tonight.
We're picking you apart on. It's incredibly humbling. It's why I go back. It hurts. But I do like it. But that was one aspect of it. But my mind was kind of in another place, in that there were some things that I realized that you had told me about Fabris, that I was like, we kind of do it in EI as well. You say one of the most effective defenses is to just point your tip at your opponent's handle.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things about moving around, or not moving around, but when drawing, the timing of when to draw is as your opponent draws, you follow their Tsukagashira, the end of their sword. Because if you follow that timing is what's going to beat them every time.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's really strange. And it's like, it involves the cuts, and it is so crazy because you can feel when it's right.
So you know what else that is in Fabris? You are taking advantage of... Sorry. What that is in Fabris is what we worked on tonight. So it was one of the first things that I've mentioned in this podcast.
I was sending you some energy.
Tempo. And the thing about tempo is everyone has it. And it's every single motion. So like, part of my tempo is however long it takes me to take a step. Mm-hmm. And part of my tempo is however long it takes me to rotate this blade to form a different counter guard against whatever they're doing. So what we worked tonight was contra tempo, which
counter-tempo.
is exactly
Counter tempo.
I keep saying counter tempo, but like in Italian, it's literally contratempi.
Okay.
Contratempo, in the book that it's written. So what you're doing is you are marking their tempo and moving with it until a critical moment when you need to move faster than it. And you need to get inside of it.
And that is every single.
And that's what we were doing today, is we would let the fencer try to take the blade. And as they stepped to take the blade, you would step in the same rotation further and gain the blade.
Ha!
So that you close the measure and you move with their tempo to create one for yourself. So that as soon as you land, you just finish. And you don't even need to step when you finish. You can reach and finish every time because they're 42-inch blades.
How cool.
Yeah. Or like...
You need to show me those videos. Though.
Or if they step in, you feint at them.
Mm-hmm.
And when they go to parry, you just move the blade to somewhere else.
Around that. Ah!
Mm-hmm.
How fun.
But there's a few guys that I gotta work on it. Because... And maybe you would encounter something like this. Their guard is so strong, even when I feint, they don't feel threatened by it. Because they are threatening me more than my feint is threatening them. Does that make sense? Like,
so they're not attacking?
They're not responding to my attack. Like, I'm trying to make it look like I'm attacking to their shoulder as they step in, or their head as they step in, and they don't bother to respond to it because the line that their blade is following is such a good line that if they committed to it, they would hit me before I hit them.
Oh, I know what to do in that situation. Or I know what I would try to attempt in that situation. I don't know if it would work. It involves, it's a advanced paired form. Oh man. It's one that it's really difficult to do. So you would try, or at least in my mind, what I would try to do. I forget which one it's called, but you cross kind of at the center, and essentially, if this is at equal level to your tsuba, I pull down to one side, and with the edge of my kisaki, I'm going to try to hook the inside of your tsuba to shove it down to then cut up into your neck.
Oh.
It's a real... It's that...
It's a bind.
Or it comes... Yeah, it's a bind. But it hooks the kisaki back here. It takes... And it's...
I can see that.
And when it's crossed, the thing, it doesn't matter if they don't respond. If they do respond by you pushing them or them pushing you, it's the same thing to pull back, get around, and hook. If their front guard is so strong.
Huh.
There's one situation in which we do deal with, in a low guard, Jodan, no, this is Seigan, Jodan, Gaidon. It's really weak because your wrists are down here.
Yeah.
It's really meant to, if someone's really here, or that's another situation you could do it in. If someone's here and really good strong, you could have here, and then the last moment, bam, I'm going to stab your wrists.
Oh.
And that's a tempo thing of stepping into their guard.
Yeah.
But that would force them up, so then you come up, and so then you both meet in the middle. It's really, wow, it's all in the paired forms. But that's one of the situations that you could deal with it with. But it's really particular. But that's what I would try and do. But another thing that happened that I thought about that I wanted to share tonight.
Tell me.
It's a use in that book that I found. So, what's really important about this is its utility. Because if you try and get over a wall, you can lean this against a wall, and it's structurally strong enough for you to step on it, and then you can just pull it on up. It's a strong sword. And you can just get over a wall real quick with it. Yeah.
Troy.
It's ingenious.
That's how the ninja did it.
Yeah. That's one
They
of them.
didn't have hook hand. Well, they maybe did.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
it was this.
And then another one that's also in there that's really fun. If you're in a room... Could you hold this, please? Thank you. I realize I'm nowhere near the mic. I apologize. Where is it? Yeah. If you know someone's in the room and you can't find them or you can't see you pull us out to the edge and you hold it, and the second you feel something, you can pull this back and try and stab them or try and find them. But you can feel around to try to find somebody. Because you can get another one. You can get another one of these real easy.
Because it was feudal, so like there wasn't any actual much natural light outside of torches, right?
Yeah, and also everything could also be real low, so they could just. I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is something I wanted to share. Did I find it in that book? Can I know?
No.
Yeah. But yeah. Anything else you want to share?
I got to help my instructor play through an action tonight. One I did not know, one that he was still learning himself. And the idea is to try to bait them. So if you come up to engage someone and they're pointing at me, if I tried to gain their blade, I would deliberately fall underneath their blade flat, as if I was pointing at their stomach, to invite them to thrust to my head. And when they did, I would... he says to move forward while putting your body under the blade. Under your blade. And so, if I'm standing and I do the invite, I'm going to end up here. And then he says, put your body under your blade. So I have to go super far underneath, and it's supposed to be a super long action. We were playing with it, and I could see that invite to thrust to the head. But there was a secondary action where I don't go for it, and then he makes them come to the side, and he can come around and get him on the inside.
Do you have this recorded?
No, because we wanted to get it to a point of recording it, but we couldn't quite figure it out.
Fair, but that sounds... I can't picture this. I want to see it.
It's really hard to explain when I'm only having one sword.
No, I understand. It is.
Yeah, but it also confuses people because Tim is left-handed and I'm right-handed, and I'm at the point where it doesn't matter who I'm fencing. I know how to beat them. I know what I need to do to beat them.
A little cocky, are we?
Confident is not cocky. I can beat anyone. It is possible for me to beat.
Boy, you gave me third place in that competition.
So it is possible for me to beat anyone.
Oh, yes.
You know why I came in third place?
I know.
Because I didn't fence 2 of them. I didn't fence 2 of those fencers.
Mm-hmm.
I fenced every other 28 of those fencers.
Yeah.
And I still came in third overall. I think that's pretty good, Troy.
Well, you cannot...
How many tournaments you fought in?
That's fair. I haven't been able to. Because there's no one else... there's no one else that comes to... we have 2 events for my school here in the States. We have Embukai and we have Koshukai. Koshukai is the testing. Embukai is where we also have the Taikai. And the Taikai is the competition. And that's where you go out and they'll just call out a waza and you both do it. And 3 judges will decide who did it better. And you can only do this against those of your level.
Oh.
No one. There's not enough of my level to have a Taikai. So I've never been able to have it. And it's what's funny, one of my very good friends, who I hope to have on Sword Buddies one day, who started around the same time with EI with me, he had to take a break for a year, so he is now a rank below me. So he would have been able to compete with me, but yeah, and there aren't enough people coming from Michigan. Everyone comes to Taikai because that's when you get a test and you get another rank. But
we don't have ranks. It's there's a bit of seniority in class, and these are the people you want to listen to. But also, the people you want to listen to are obvious because in the bouts, they're the ones with the best form. They will still lose from time to time, but it's because they're trying something new that they haven't learned yet.
Yeah.
Whenever they focus on what works for them, unbeatable.
Yeah. We have a ranking system, and I mentioned before, only about once a year for the first 6 ranks, and then it starts to become like every 2, or like you can test 2 after 3 or 4 or 5, and then you don't. Testing to teach is a different test altogether, but in class, seniority is whoever has been attending the longest.
That's kind of how it is.
And it doesn't matter if they are a lower or a higher rank than someone.
Right now, seniority is given to who attends the most consistently. Because some of the senior guys will take like full weeks off. And they'll show up to like 2 classes a month sometimes. But they're the ones like always trying to guide. And in my head, I'm sitting there. And I don't show up to every one, and I'm mad at myself for that. But I show up to at least, if we have 8 classes a month, I show up to at least 6 every month.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal's 8.
Yeah, the goal is 8. The ultimate goal is 8, but I'm still able to hit 6.
Yeah.
At least.
And that's
because,
a majority.
And because of that, a lot of the newer folk, and even some of the veterans will be like, what am I doing? What am I doing that's not working? And I'll be able to see it. Like today, I taught the guy who's been coming there longest how to read that he was doing 2 contra tempos in a single action. And he didn't realize he was doing that until I pointed it out. And then I glanced over at Tim, and then Tim is just like grinning. This is like looking at this senior and then looking at me like, yeah, that's what's going on. You're doing 2 contra tempos, man.
Man. I hope we can have Tim on the cast one day.
That would be the dream. Well, like, Tim's got his own studio.
That's
so,
true.
Theoretically,
we really do got to get
we could just zoom people in.
Oh, yeah, because there's a whole bunch of people that I do. Dude, we gotta get Pierce on here. We said we gotta get Pierce on here.
Pierce is a swordsman. Pierce is a warrior.
We already said we gotta get Pierce on here.
We will
Pierce?
get people on here. We will find folk to get on here.
Well,
I would be interested to find some of our cousins, some of our SAFT cousins, or Cougar cousins, and get them on here. See what they're doing fight-wise.
That's true. I'd love to see Kat on here. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Like,
talking to her about she kills.
Yeah. I was like, how do you remember this?
Be like, on record. Chaos.
On record. Did you get hit? No. Good for you. Did you guys get hit? No.
But with that, I think we're going to call it a night.
A night. And thank you for tuning in. Goodbye. Arrivederci.